Welcome back to the Deep Dive, where we cut through the noise to get you truly well-informed. Today, we're diving into a challenge that probably sounds pretty familiar to a lot of people. How do you get that stunning, crystal clear high-def signal from your favorite device, maybe your console, streaming box, whatever, to a screen that's just, well, it's kind of far away. When your standard HDMI cable just won't cut it. It's a common headache, right? Whether it's a big home theater, a conference room, or just getting a TV where you really want it across the room.
Yeah, absolutely. That distance thing is always the kicker.
So for this deep dive, we're going to unpack the pretty elegant solution that AV pros and enthusiasts use. It's this powerful combo of HDMI matrix switchers, HDMI extenders, and specifically high-performance CAT6 cables. It's about getting beyond just like patching a problem.
Right.
It's designing something really dynamic and flexible.
And our way into this, our sort of lens, is actually a product page for Wolfpack's 60-foot CT6 cables. Now, it might sound like just a cable, but honestly, it gives us a really clear window into the what and how of making this long-distance AV stuff work seamlessly.
Yeah.
It shows how these bits and pieces fit together into a much bigger picture.
Exactly. So our mission for you, our listener, is pretty straightforward. By the end of this, you'll really get how these components work together, how they deliver that amazing audio and video over serious distances. Think of it as your shortcut to really understanding how to expand your AV world without losing quality. You'll get the power behind this flexible, scalable setup.
Let's get into it.
Okay, so let's unpack this first bit. We've all thought it, right? Put a TV over there, a projector way back there. I'll just grab a super long HDMI cable. Easy.
Yeah, if only.
I actually tried daisy chaining like 3 long ones once for a projector. It was not good. Flickering screen, total failure. It really hammers home that length limit. But, beyond my failed experiments, what are the actual limits of standard HDMI? Why does that simple idea usually end in disappointment?
Yeah, that's a perfect example, honestly. It nails the core issue. Standard HDMI cables, they're really designed for shorter runs. You might get maybe 25, perhaps 50 feet max for a really consistent, high-quality signal like 4K 60 hertz.
Okay.
Beyond that, you hit what's called signal degradation. Basically, the electrical resistance in the copper wires over that length, it just weakens and distorts the signal. You start seeing weird stuff like sparkles, dropouts, flickering, or sometimes just nothing, especially with high bandwidth stuff like 4K video or, fancy audio formats.
Right.
It's like trying to yell across a huge field. Your voice just doesn't carry clearly that far.
And that limitation, it's a real pain in so many situations, isn't it? I'm thinking about like bigger homes where the media gear is maybe in a closet, but the TVs are all over. Or, corporate boardrooms where the equipment rack is nowhere near the main projector screen.
Yeah.
Even just modern open plan houses, you want displays in different zones without needing a Blu-ray player sitting right next to every single one. So the big question becomes, how do we keep that perfect signal integrity, make sure the 4K and the great audio get there intact over distance without, turning the place into a cable nightmare?
Exactly right. And that's precisely where these solutions come in. This isn't just about fixing a distance issue. It's about unlocking real control, real scalability. It turns these static AV setups into something much more dynamic, multi-zone even. It's designing for the future, really.
Okay, this is where it gets really interesting. This is our solution trifecta, right? The 3 key players that beat the distance problem. Let's start with the command center, the HDMI matrix switcher. For folks who might not be familiar, what exactly does a matrix switcher do? What kind of power does it give you?
Right. Think of a matrix switcher as maybe the air traffic controller for your AV signals. Or, the central brain. It's a box, basically, a hub. You plug multiple HDMI sources into it, your Blu-ray, game console, maybe a few streaming boxes, laptops in an office.
All the inputs.
All the inputs, yeah. And then it has multiple outputs that go to your different displays, TVs, projectors, monitors. The magic part is the flexibility.
Yeah.
You control which input goes to which output independently.
Ah, okay.
So, football in the living room, movie in the den, game on the monitor.
Yeah.
All from that one central box, all at the same time if you want.
So it's basically the central routing system. No more plugging and unplugging cables when you want to watch something different on a different screen.
Exactly. It's essential for those more complex setups.
Okay, that handles the routing, the what goes where. But then how do we bridge those big distances we talked about? How does the signal physically get from the switcher output way over to that distant screen?
Right, that's where player number 2 comes in.
Yeah.
The HDMI extenders. These are the distance bridge. Typically, an extender system is 2 boxes, a transmitter and a receiver.
Okay.
The transmitter plugs into your source, or in this case, into one of the outputs on your matrix switcher. It takes that HDMI signal, and then it cleverly sort of converts or prepares that signal to travel over a different kind of cable, one that's much better for long distances.
That's not you.
Then at the other end, near your TV or projector, you have the receiver box. It takes the signal coming over that long cable and turns it back into a standard HDMI signal for your display.
That's clever. So instead of trying to push HDMI itself too far, the extenders repackage it for a more robust journey. Are there different kinds of these? Like, what should people look for? Power, features?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Good question. They're not all the same. Many modern ones, especially for longer runs, use a technology called HD-T. It's a standard, which is nice.
Happy pissy basty.
And the cool thing about HD-T is it can often carry more than just video and audio over that single CT6 cable. It can also carry power.
Power?
Really?
Yeah, often called power over cable, or PC. It can also carry Ethernet, sometimes control signals like IR for your remote or RS-232. That POC feature is huge because it often means you don't need a power outlet right by the receiver unit at the display end. Think about a ceiling projector.
Oh, yeah, that simplifies things a lot. No need for an electrician, just for the extender power.
Exactly. But there are other types too. Some are proprietary, maybe optimized for certain resolutions, or just pure video audio extension. The key is matching the extender's capabilities, bandwidth, features to what you actually need. If you need 4K 60 Hz with HDR, you got to make sure the extender and the cable can handle it. Choose wisely, you know?
Okay, so the extenders are the smart converters handling the signal transformation. And that brings us perfectly to the cable itself, the unsung hero, as some call it. The CAT6 cable, we're looking at things like that Wolfpack 60-foot 66 in our source. What makes CAT6 the right choice here? Why is it so good at carrying these signals so far? Yeah, the CAT6 is absolutely the workhorse. It's ideal mainly because it was designed for the ground up for long-distance data transmission in computer networks.
Right, networking cables.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Unlike HDMI, which is a bit more delicate over distance, CAT6 cables are built differently. They have tighter twists in the internal wire pairs, better shielding, all designed to fight off interference and maintain signal integrity over much longer distances.
Oh, okay.
So it's perfect for carrying that repackaged HDMI signal without letting it degrade. The quality you put in at the start is what you get out at the end, even 100 feet away with the right extenders, like with that Wolfpack cable example. That's way beyond what native HDMI can reliably do.
That's a serious improvement. And what kind of actual performance are we talking? Like resolutions and stuff?
Well, these cables, paired with good extenders, can comfortably handle modern resolutions. You're looking at crisp 1080p, definitely. But also 4K at 30 Hz and even up to 4K at 60 Hz is achievable with the right HD basic extenders. They provide enough bandwidth for these converted HDMI streams. You know, CAT6 itself can handle huge network data rates, but for this video application, it provides what's needed for that smooth, high-fidelity picture and sound.
Okay.
Ends up being a really practical, reliable, and honestly pretty cost-effective way to do these long runs.
And looking at these specific Wolfpack ones, are there any other practical bits worth mentioning, perks or details?
Yes, specifically with the Wolfpack ones mentioned in the source, they often throw in a couple of free 3-foot HDMI cables.
That's handy.
It is, because those are the short ones you need for that final connection from the receiver box to your actual TV or projector. So that's a little bonus. They also come in a bunch of sizes, from maybe 16 feet up to nearly 100 feet, so you can get pretty close to the exact lengths you need. Yeah. And one other thing, maybe more for businesses or government folks, they're noted as TAA compliant. That just means they meet certain trade agreement rules, which can be important for purchasing in some organizations.
Gotcha. Okay, so we've got the switcher for routing, the extenders for converting and bridging distance, and the CA6 cable for the reliable long-haul transmission. So what does this actually look like when you're setting it up? Let's walk through it step by step. Imagine someone wants to do this in their home.
Okay, yeah, let's make it practical. Imagine you've got, say, a nice home theater setup, but all your gear receiver, Blu-ray, console is tucked away neatly in a media closet. But your main projector is mounted way at the back of the room, high up, and maybe you also want to send the signal to a TV in the kitchen nook.
Okay, typical scenario.
Right. So step 1, sources to switcher. You plug all your HDMI source devices into the inputs on your HDMI matrix switcher inside that closet. That's Hub Central.
Step 1, connect the inputs. Got it.
Step 2, switcher to transmitter. You take an HDMI cable from one of the switcher's outputs and plug it into the HDMI input on an extender's transmitter box. You need one transmitter for the projector feed, another for the kitchen TV feed.
Okay, switcher output to transmitter input.
Step 3. CT6 for distance. Now, you run your CAT6 cable like that 60-footer from the transmitter's CT6 output port all the way through the walls or ceiling to where your projector or kitchen TV is located. This is a long journey.
Run the CT6. Check.
Step 4. Receiver at display. At the projector end, you connect the other end of that long CT6 cable into the CT6 input port on the HDMI extender's receiver box.
Just T6 into the receiver box.
Yep. And finally, step 5. Receiver to display. You use a short HDMI cable, maybe one of those free ones, to connect the HDMI output on the receiver box directly to the HDMI input on your projector or TV.
Okay, final connection to the screen.
And boom, done. You've got high-quality AV, potentially 4K, running over a long distance, controlled centrally. And see, this isn't just like technical theory. It's a really solid, proven way to get top-notch video and audio reliably in these bigger setups. It gives you that long-distance transmission, that seamless experience, and way more flexibility than just trying to stretch an HDMI cable could ever offer. It really works.
Fantastic. And there you have it. We've really dug into how this clever mix the HDMI matrix switchers, those vital HDMI extenders, and reliable CAT6 cables like that Wolfpack 60-foot option all work together. It's just a really efficient, really effective way to push high-quality audio and video over those longer distances, giving you great control and clarity.
It really is. But, thinking beyond just extending your current setup, consider the bigger picture. What does having this kind of flexible, high-bandwidth CAT6 infrastructure running through your walls actually enable for the future?
Interesting point.
Think about future smart home designs. With CAT6 potentially going to multiple rooms, you're ready not just for TVs, but maybe interactive displays, smart mirrors, advanced sensors, all potentially feeding back or being controlled centrally. Imagine a truly integrated space where every screen, maybe every speaker, is part of one system, easy to change or upgrade later.
Yeah.
How might this influence professional setups too? More adaptable offices? Or even how we integrate different tech beyond just AV? What new possibilities does having this robust cabling unlock for you, the listener, down the road? Something to think about.
Absolutely. It really does open up your thinking about future possibilities, doesn't it? Building that foundation now can pay off in ways we might not even fully see yet. Well, thank you for joining us on this deep dive. We really hope you feel well-informed and maybe a bit more confident about tackling those long-distance AV needs. Until next time, keep exploring.